watched last week's lesson, and I sure hope you did, because Zach, he really knocked it out of the park of setting this thing up. But, and he did everything he could do, and I know that it was really tough on him not to finish this story.
Yeah.
So, there's many, many different ways that you can go, and I know if you've been around church at all, you've heard the story about Gideon, and how the 300, and how God used Gideon.
Yep.
But here's what the Holy Ghost has put on my heart. And I want you to pray real hard. I'm going to try to be as short as possible. I know we got many things to do today with the wake and the funeral and Father's Day. People's got plans, and I will do my very best to be as brief as I can.
Oh, but it's so important.
But y'all pray real hard, because I could probably talk about Gideon for 2 hours this morning. Gideon is one of my favorite stories in the Bible. I've read it, and I've studied it, and I've read it back and forth, and I love the story of Gideon. And this morning, here's what God has put on my heart. The story of Gideon is a prime example. It is the wonderful example of how God can take an ordinary people and do extraordinary things. A lot of you, even watching at home, and a lot of you here this morning listening to me, you've got the concept that God is looking for some kind of super Christian. God is looking for someone with extraordinary faith, or extraordinary courage, or some great knowledge of the Word, and some great speech or something. No, God is looking for someone just like you. God is looking for someone just like me. Just an ordinary person that will allow God to use them, and you can see extraordinary results. We find Gideon this morning is a man that is full of doubt. He is full of fear. He has zero self-confidence. He has zero courage. But you know what? Just like Gideon, God takes that person and He loves them up, and He strengthens them, and He encourages them. Oh, and He don't lose patience with them, Zach, because He's long-suffering with them. And He cradles them and encourages them, and He keeps prodding them along. And that's the story of Gideon this morning. You know, this ain't gonna work. We've got children, teenagers, I know I ain't supposed to move around. I'm gonna come sit right down here. I'm gonna sit right here at the altar, and I want to tell you this morning, I want to tell you that God can use people just like you. I don't care if you're a teenager, I don't care if you're 8 years old or you're 80 years old. God can take what you think that you're full of doubt, no faith, no courage, you don't think you can do anything.
Come on, buddy.
God can take you this morning, and He can take ordinary person, and He can do extraordinary things if you'll just let Him.
Yeah.
I thought that for a long time. I thought for a long time, Kiki, I couldn't measure up. I couldn't live this Christian life. I couldn't be this Christian, perfect Christian. And I can't. And I can't do it without Him. But with Him, I've made it. I can do it. Every day He reassures me. Every day He encourages me. Every day He forgives me of my mistakes. And He picks me up and He loves on me. And He's doing the same thing for every one of you. You know, Zach set this up last week. We found Gideon hiding because of the Midianites threshing wheat at the wine press. So, as Paul Harvey, some of you is not old enough to know who that is, I want to tell you the rest of the story.
Amen.
So the Bible records, and you can read this, and I will give you the clip notes, the highlights. I may not have everything, every single word, but I'm going to tell you the story, the highlights of the story. So that night, Gideon, the Lord came unto Gideon the same very night where Zach ended. And he said, Gideon, I want you to go down and I want you to tear down the altar of Baal that your father had built. And I want you to cut the grove of timber that's beside it. And that was very important because the children of Israel had already started serving false gods. And he said, I want you to go down and tear that altar down that your daddy made. God's got to be first, Chicky. You got to get everything out of the way and make God first. So the important, he said, I want you to take a bullock and even a second bullock of 7 years old, and I want you to go down, tear that altar down, cut those trees down, build an altar and put it in place, sacrifice that first bullock, and take the second one and burn it as an offering. Why is that important? Because if you go look, they was worshiping Baal and Asherah. Baal was an idol they had made up, an image, had a man's body and a bull's head. Asherah was called the pole god. They had a stand of trees of wood that they worshipped. So God said, you kill a bull, and you cut the trees down. So Gideon went down, he took 10 servants, and he was still scared to death. And the Bible said, he was afraid to do it because of his father's house. And he was afraid of all the men in the city. So he slipped down at night, and he did it. And the next morning, the people of the city seen what happened. They started asking questions, inquiring, what happened? Well, they found out it was Gideon, Joash's son. So they went to Joash's house, and he said, bring your boy out here. He's going to die for tearing down our altar and cutting our wood. Well, even though Joash had fallen astray and built the altar and worshiping Baal, that was still his boy. And he still loved him. So he took up for him. He said, let me tell you, folks, if Baal is really God like you say he is, let Baal deal with my boy. While it's still morning, let Baal kill him. Let him, y'all plead to Baal, y'all pray to Baal, and let Baal kill him. Because it was his altar, not yours, it was his altar that he tore down. So the people went away. So Gideon, the Spirit of the Lord come on Gideon. The Bible said the Spirit come on and he blew a trumpet. And when he blew a trumpet, that is, he sent out a message on Facebook and he tweeted it. All the people gathered around. They started, Abazar was with him. They sent messages to Manasseh, to Reuben, to all the tribes, and here come the people. Richard, there was thousands of people come to Gideon. So now Gideon's got some backing. Not hundreds, but thousands.
Yeah, big
Now when you get a bunch of people backing you, you get brave.
Yeah, get proud.
But not Gideon. Here he got all these people come, looking at him. What we gonna do? And Gideon got scared. He went back to God. He said, oh Lord. He said, if you're really going to deliver Israel by my hand, he said, I need a sign.
Ooh.
He said, I'm going to take this fleece of wool, and I'm going to lay it in the floor. And he said, let tonight, Lord, let that wool be wet in the morning. Everything around it be dry as a bone. So God, long-suffering, God nurturing him along, did what he asked. So, there you go. He's got thousands of men behind him. God showed him a sign. He's ready to go. No. He woke up that next morning. He wrung the water out, a whole bowl full. God had given him his sign. He still doubted. He still had fear, Richard.
Been there.
He said, hey, God. He said, don't get mad at me, Lord. He said, God, please don't show your anger towards me, but let's do it again.
Yeah.
Oh, let's do it again, Lord. One more time.
Turn around.
So he said, this time, let that fleece be dry. Let the dew fall on everything else. So what happened? So God did as he asked. The next morning he got up, Jinky. That fleece was dry as a bone. Everything, every ground, all the ground was wet as it could be. So there Gideon's another sign. So the Bible records that Gideon and them moved to the mount beside the well of Herod, and all the Amalekites and the Midianites was down in the valley. And the Bible records that he had an army of 32,000 men. So God said, now Gideon, you got too many people. One, you got too big of an army, because here's what's going to happen. He didn't say if, he said, when I deliver the Midianites to your hands, Israel will flaunt herself and they'll say, hey,
Look what
we did it. We had 32,000. We did it. He said, so I tell you what I want you to do. He said, I want you to proclaim and speak to all the ears. And he said, I want you to tell them, if you're afraid or faint-hearted, I want you to go on. Now, if you got that, God gives those military laws to Moses. You can find that in Deuteronomy 20:8. God told Moses when he gave him instructions about how to go to battle. First thing he said, if you go to battle and you got, your enemy has outnumbered you in great multitudes of camels and horses and all that, don't be afraid because I'm going to be with you.
Right.
But he said, if any man in your army is afraid, God said, send them home. Because what will happen is when you're on the battlefield fighting, if one's afraid and turns, the other one's going to fear that and go with him. So he's told Moses, he said, you tell them that anybody that's afraid, go home. So it's the same thing he told Gideon. He said, Gideon, you tell them if they're afraid, I want them to go home. So Gideon did as he said, and the Bible records that 22,000 men
Think of it.
left and departed. So it left him 10,000. So Gideon probably was pretty nervous, but still had 10,000. That's a pretty good crowd of men backing him. God said, Gideon, there are yet too many. He said, take them to the water. Take them all down to the water, and I'll try them for you. He didn't tell Gideon to try them. He said, I'll try them for you. So we can go. We know the story. He went down, and I'm trying to hurry. He went down, and God said, the ones that lap water like a dog with their tongue, put them on one side. The ones that kneel to their knees and cup water with their hands and drink, put them on one side. Said the number of the ones that cupped water was 300, so there was 9,700 that lapped watered from it like a dog. You know, we can get into about how alert and military. It didn't matter if there was 3. It did. God had the victory, not them. So anyhow, 9,700 went home,
Not mine.
and he said, "With these 300, Gideon, I would give the Midianites to your hands, deliver Israel." And this is what I like. He said, "But if you're afraid," God knew him. God knows us. He said, "Gideon, I tell you what, but if you're afraid, here's what I want you to do. I want you to take your servant Fur. I want you to sneak down to that camp tonight. I want you to listen to what they're saying. And once you hear what they're saying, that will strengthen you and encourage you." See, God is no respected person, Richard.
Right.
He let 22,000 go home because he's afraid. He wasn't going to make Gideon go fight if he was afraid. He said, "If you're afraid," God knew he was scared to death. He said, "If you're afraid, I want you to take your servant and go down and listen to what they're saying." So Gideon took his servants and they snuck down there, Jenky, and they listening. The captain of the guard said, "Hey, buddy," talking to one another. He said, "I had a dream last night." He said, "Well, what was it?" He said, "I dreamed that there was a cake, barley cake, a cake of barley. And it rolled down to me. Well, barley cake is a poor man's meal. Not a wheat or flour. That's a poor man. What did Zach teach us last week? He said, Gideon said, "I'm from Manasseh, the poor tribe, and I'm the poorest one out of the tribe." So barley is a poor man's meal. So the one said, "It rolled down the hill, it hit a tent, it flipped that tent up and smoked it right there." The other one said, "Hey, let me tell you the interpretation. I know what that means." He said, "That can't mean nothing but God of Israel delivering us into Gideon's hand." Oh, now Gideon, son. He said he rejoiced and he went back up.
Ready to fight.
He ready to go. He said, "Boys, let's go." He said, "I want to divide you up in 3 companies of 100. Then I thought, why 3? If they would have surrounded them, they would have had to fight.
Yeah.
He gave them an exit. They get on 3 sides and they ain't had but one way to run.
That's right.
So he said, "Get your trumpets, get your pitchers, victuals, put your lamp inside it." Didn't want to see them coming. They had their light hid down in it. Y'all go 3 sides, you listen and watch, and you do exactly as I do. He said, "When I blow my trumpet, bust this pitcher, hold my torch up, you holler the sword of the Lord and of Gideon." Of course, we know they got and they did, and the Bible records that it struck so great a fear in them. He said it happened in the middle watch. So it happened exactly at midnight. So exactly at midnight, they blew the trumpet, busted the pitchers, held the sword, their lamps up, and hollered, "The sword of the Lord and of Gideon." The Bible records that God struck a great fear in them. They started running. They started fighting each other. It was in the middle of the night, dark. They didn't know who they was coming upon. They killed many of each other. But when Gideon went down there, I forgot this part, it said the number of them, of their camels and their people was unnumberable.
Yeah.
They was like the grains of the sand on the beach. That's how many people was there. And Gideon had himself and 300. So God delivered Gideon and the whole nation of Israel because an ordinary man that we just seen was full of doubt, full of fear, no confidence, unsure, But God used that ordinary man,
That's right.
Come on, buddy.
and he did extraordinary things.
That's right.
If you go on and read after the battle and after they defeated the princes and the kings and slew them all, the men of Israel says, let us serve you and your children and your children's children. Gideon said, no, don't serve me. You will not serve me, and you'll not serve my sons. You'll serve the Lord. And the Bible records that Gideon lived to a ripe old age. He had 70 children because he had many wives. And Israel had peace for 40 years till Gideon died. So what I'm saying to you on Facebook this morning, what I'm saying to you sitting in this church house, I don't care what age you are. You may be full of doubt. You may be full of fear. You may be so uncertain. You can't do this. I can't do nothing. That's who God wants. God wants you. God wants just ordinary people. And if you'll give him a try this morning, if you'll give your heart to him, you'll see extraordinary things that you can do through the Lord Jesus Christ. Thank you.
Congratulations.